IELTS Speaking Practice 5 Part 1 Newspapers and Magazines. Which magazines and newspaper do you read? I frequently read the free tabloids that distributed in the MTR stations. Because when I have a long journey to go to school, it takes about more than 1 hour. So it is interesting, and I can spend some time on reading newspaper that for a long journey, and it is useful for me to know about the Hong Kong current issues, what happenings in Hong Kong and also all around the world. And news, it is very important to our lives because we have to know how the Hong Kong policy has been introduced and what's happening around us. What kinds of article are you most interested in? Why? I like the lifestyle part of the magazines and newspapers very much because the writers share their viewpoints on the current issue in Hong Kong or all over around the world. It is very interesting to understand one thing from different angles and perspectives based on different backgrounds and occupations of the editors in the newspaper or magazine. And also, lifestyle articles are very entertaining and can make us feel relaxed, because when I see the beautiful pictures that's taken from the other countries, that really to refresh our minds and to appeal us to go to have a travel. So I really enjoyed reading articles in the lifestyle pages. Have you ever read a newspaper or a magazine in a foreign language? When and why? When I was in a secondary school, in a senior forms that have to preparing for the HKAL and HKCE for a public examination, the tutors tell me that SEMP is always packaged as the examination topics and questions in the public exam, because the language is formal and the issues is deserve discussing. So the SEMP is very useful in the examination. Based on the examination orientation backgrounds, I read SEMPs seldomly during the public examination period. Do you think reading a newspaper or magazine in a foreign language is a good way to learn the language? Why or why not? Newspaper and magazines are representing one place's culture and the current issues, and also the literature from one place. So if we spend more time on reading the magazine and newspaper, that is keep updating the language and information on one place. So I think this is useful for people to learn and also improve the language by reading magazines and newspaper. Part 2. Describe a restaurant that you enjoy going to. You should say where the restaurant was, why you choose these restaurants, what types of food you ate in these restaurants, and explain why you enjoy eating in these restaurants. The restaurants I enjoy going to is Caesarea, an Italian restaurant. The restaurants are chain stores that are oriented in Asia places, for example, Japan, Singapore, and also Malaysia. Recently, it has been emerged to Hong Kong places, and I enjoy going to these restaurants because the price is reasonable and the food is tasty. Also, the amount of food is suitable and appropriate for most people. It is not big dishes and not too small, and the size is reasonable, then we can try more dishes at the same time. I love Italian food because I like tomato and cheese. Their taste is really good, so I really enjoy eating in this restaurant.